at the second Apple store in India. I have with me today the first two people to enter Apple Saket. The two gentlemen met Apple CEO Tim Cook, but they do have a backstory with Apple. So, if you could tell me, how was the experience of being the first customer to enter the Apple store?
In fact, it's been a tremendous experience and it's quite exciting seeing the crowd, particularly the youth of Delhi. All are at Saket and all over India people have come to Saket because Tim Cook is here. And of course, it's an excitement, no doubt. We also came down to Delhi yesterday, and since Tim and I share an old association with Apple, and he has told me clearly about my condition, which through which my life was saved. Apple electronic watch Series 6,
Right.
which saved my life. I really thank Apple for that. It's been a wonderful experience after that, because no doubt I'm on many medicines. My life has been saved. And life is precious for everybody.
Right.
And people should utilize the time to do something good for the society. And Apple has proved to exactly that. And the kind of beep which happened on my watch
Right.
around 4:45 in the morning, and I normally get up around 6:30. This was around 3rd of July 2020. And again after an hour or so the beep again went off. So it was a reminder. There was an erratic ECG which led me to further
Right.
checkups and other things. Something
Right. So,
that-
I'll just ask you, Sam.
Yeah.
Tell us, as I said, mentioned at the start of
Right.
this is not, you have a backstory with
Right,
Apple.
right. Of course.
What happened in 2022, as your father was mentioning?
Yeah, so see, initially the backstory was that I have spent a few years at Apple. I knew a couple people like Craig Federighi and all, and I was always also an Apple aficionado. I was using Apple products a lot. So when the Series 5 came out, the ECG feature came out, I was kind of very optimistic about it. And I just happened to, buy my dad an Apple Watch just like any other kid would do. But I wasn't working with Apple at this point. But then because of my backstory and connections, I just, in a month of him using it, he started noticing AFib notifications. AFib is a thing called atrial fibrillation. It's actually a cardiac risk marker for an issue wherein if your heart is going to undergo a kind of a cardiomyopathic shock, which is what we call a heart attack.
Right.
So typically AFib is the first feature that tells you that you are gonna have something severe coming along your way. So I just happened to write to Craig Federighi, who's the SVP for software. Craig is actually very spontaneous when it comes to emails. He asked me to write to Tim Cook, and he actually CC'd Tim Cook on an email. So that just took things to another level. Tim noticed it, Tim replied to it, and Tim also followed up with me. Generally, it's very rare that if when he replies, if you give him back a reply, then I think that will be the end of a conversation typically.
Right.
But then he again replied back to it and said that I hope he's recovering well, and he also said that the Apple team would get in touch with me and would like to officially document this.
Right.
And thereafter the Apple team got in touch. I remember it was a guy called Lance Lin who wrote to me from Cupertino, followed by Shiraz and the other team here.
Right.
They have been extremely gracious, extremely kind in trying to document it. Obviously they underwent an entire process wherein asked for his medical documents, and because just after which he underwent a checkup and was slated for an open heart surgery, which eventually happened.
Right.
For a mitral valve replacement.
Right.
So the entire thing became so authentic and so authentically Apple in a way that it was around the Apple Watch. Even the cardiologist agreed that because of this, that because a lot of times people say that diabetes and BPs are silent killers. So they don't make a lot of, they're asymptomatic in nature. So you need devices like these to eventually help you track something of this nature. So
Okay.
that happened, and I think
How was your interaction with Tim Cook today? What did
it
you
was
tell him? What did he say?
surreal, So Shiraz and the team did reach out to me to visit the BKC store as well. But looking into Dad's health conditions plus my work commitments, I wasn't able to. But I'm glad that we were able to do it in Saket today, officially making me the first customer to walk into the Apple flagship store at Saket today.
Right.
So that's another backstory to add to the entire Apple experience now. It
Right.
was wonderful. Tim did instantly recognize me because of my former alliance with Apple, as well as with reference to the story. When it was probably just for a few seconds when I mentioned it to him that was the case, the first documented case for AFib around the Apple Watch,
Right.
and he instantly said that yes, I remember, and how are you doing? And
Not just the first Apple customers at Apple Saket, but these two gentlemen have a story that goes back to Apple Watch, how it actually helped save a young man's father's life.